If any of these things happen to you after a crash, this is when you want to go get an attorney. I'm Jim Gordon at Beers and Gordon. Let me explain what's happening after a crash and what should be a red flag to you, and you should call an attorney right away. The number one red flag I'm seeing lately is insurance companies are trying to settle cases immediately. And what they're doing is they're calling people up the day of the crash and offering $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 and getting a verbal consent over the phone. Geico and Progressive are both doing this and being very aggressive about it, getting a verbal consent over the phone, and some of them are getting wire instructions to wire you the money the same day. So what they're selling is, oh, well, this will cover your medical treatment and that this should be great and you'll be fine and we'll give you this money. What they're inferring, according to my clients, I'm not on these calls, is that they can come back and get more money. That is not the case. They are only getting the money because they're signing a release of any and all claims, past, present, and future. So if that insurance company is calling you and offering you money, you need to back off, call an attorney, ask for advice. Sometimes the advice may be, if the attorney's being honest, which I will be, that maybe it is you're not hurt and that's a good resolution for you and you should take it. But many times the advice is, you're not sure right now, it's been a day or 2 days and you're going back for treatment, you're not sure, why would you do it? That money's always gonna be there. So don't do that when you see that red flag. Another red flag that can occur is when people change their stories. So sometimes what happens at a crash scene is everyone says this is what happened in the crash and they admit to what happened. And sometimes people don't call the police. And I would tell you, call the police in almost every case. Why? Because most people are not going to lie to the police about what happened in the crash. But I have seen way too many times they say, yeah, I agree, I caused the crash, I ran the light, and then they tell their insurance company a whole different story. They've talked to someone else, and now you're left with trying to prove that something happened. In those cases, if someone you can tell is changing their story, especially if you're at the scene of the crash, one of the things I always recommend is take a video of the person admitting that they are at fault. Don't get a statement. Don't have them write something down. Don't just say, well, they gave me the insurance information, that's enough, that tells me they're at fault. Actually take out your phone, video, and have them say exactly what happened in the crash. Because then when they change their story, you got it on video. It's not under oath, but that's really hard to overcome. And I would love to see that used against someone, whether they're at trial, and use that video to say, hey, this is what they said right after the crash, and now they've changed their story, and why did they? If the insurance company is calling you and asking for a recorded statement, and it's the other insurance company, not your own, but the other insurance company, that's a red flag. You do not need to give a statement. You're not required by law to give a statement to the other side. And usually it's not helpful to give a statement to the other side without an attorney involved. If they're calling you and saying, let me give a recorded statement, and you're inclined to give it because you feel like you did nothing wrong, make sure you talk to an attorney about the case before you give that recorded statement. Again, that attorney may say, that's fine, you're not hurt, go ahead, do it. The attorney may say, well, why don't you hire me and we'll take care of it and we'll do the recorded statement with you if a recorded statement would be allowed. I can tell you at Beers and Gordon, I never allow the other side to take a recorded statement because, again, it's not allowed by law and I don't think it's helpful to your case. I will tell the claims rep, this is what happened, this is what my client said, but why give them 2 bites of the apple? Because they're going to take your statement again if the case is ever in litigation. Now, on the flip side, if you're asked for a recorded statement by your own insurance company, you do have to participate. You do have to cooperate with your own insurance company. But again, that's a red flag. You want to call an attorney and ask for help on how to give that recorded statement. So anytime you get a call from a claims rep and says, I want to take a recorded statement, you should call an attorney and see if it makes sense. So those are the kind of things you need to look at as red flags in a case.